Nobody's running over Eddie Alvarez. It has never happened. It isn't going to happen.
I think I threw a shot and he came over top. I don't even remember really. I just remember being on the floor, and I was like, wow, that was quick. Whatever that was, it was fair. Whatever that was, it was fair.
The last time McGregor won a fight before his 4 losses in a row, Big John, Mike Goldberg, and Eddie Alvarez were still in the UFC. Now McCarthy and Goldie are broadcasters for Bellator, and Eddie is...
over in Japan or some shit.
Point is, time moves fast, but not as fast as the combination we're about to analyze. And no, I'm not talking about the last knockdown that happened 8 minutes into the fight, but rather the first one, only 1 minute in. Forgotten by many, this sequence was pure mastery. Alvarez feints the takedown, and 0.2 seconds later, launches in with a right hand. 0.066 seconds later, McGregor slips the punch. This is a reaction time of 0.23 seconds from the moment Eddie starts his move. But the impressive thing about this slip is its precision. He offers his head as a target until the very last moment. He allows the punch to get extremely close to his face without getting touched. That's the creation of the dead zone. Israel Adesanya actually uses that same striking principle, but with a very different style of execution, as I explain in detail in this older video. The creation of the dead zone is a principle that can be simplified in 2 elements. 1. The offering of the head, and 2. The retraction of the head with pinpoint accuracy, just enough to not get hit. This dangerous yet rewarding technique is perfect to draw the opponent where you want him. If you can make him fully commit to his strike attempt, you can gain significant control over his movement. And that control can be used for something special if you know how to use it. We'll get back to that soon. 0.27 seconds after the slip, the first left hand lands. It's clean, it's powerful, it's quick. But none of that will matter without the error-free accuracy of the strike. 0.1 second later, look at the position of Eddie's right hand. It's dangerously close to Conor, but the strike itself is not threatening because of its angle and also because of the left hand Alvarez just absorbed. That's why McGregor's precision is so useful, because it makes Eddie's follow-up strikes unbalanced. With that information, McGregor slips the punch to the millimeter, and that allows him to execute the next step of his combo. McGregor is a ranged specialist. He uses his lead hand and his head as distance finders. That accuracy of head movement is a perfect example of dead zone creation. But like I said earlier, this creation of dead space allows control over someone's movement. If you cannot use that control appropriately, it's useless. But for masters of the technique like Izzy and McGregor, using that control is what they live for. The secret: find an angle. With footwork, find the angle that 1. Gives you maximum vision of your target, and 2. Gives your opponent minimum vision of the incoming strike. Full vision of the target. Alvarez has no vision of the left hand. Conor McGregor, with the dead zone creation principle, guides, creates and controls Eddie's body position, and he's able to exploit it with the appropriate angle. What comes next is a devastating lightning bolt of a left hand. It lands exactly 0.4 seconds after the first left. That's 0.4 seconds between 2 full power left hands. To give you a little bit of context, it took more than twice as much time for Eddie to fall on his back after getting hit. This legendary combo from Chuck Liddell was applied on an immobile Tito Ortiz that wasn't hitting back, and the time between 2 power hands was still way higher than 0.4 seconds. The last combination that put Alvarez down for good is also considered to be one of the greatest ever combos, but the time between both power hands was 0.73 seconds. Almost twice as much time as the first combo. Between the moment Eddie starts his strike and the moment the second left hand from Conor lands, McGregor had time for 5 steps, 2 millimeter slips, 2 lead hand rangefinders, and 2 full power perfectly angled left hands. All of that in approximately 0.75 seconds. How can there be so much power in both left hands in this amount of time? This is where it gets interesting. Normally, to generate power, you need to rotate the hips and the torso/shoulders. After the power strike, fighters typically reload their hips to be in a good position to fire again, and that takes time. It's like any sport, a shot like this is more powerful than a shot like this, because this one generates way more force in the rotation of the body and the stick, but the slap shot takes way more time, because you need to load it. If you want to hit 2 golf balls as quickly as possible with full power, you'll have to reload your swing after hitting the first ball, and that takes time. The reason I consider this combo the fastest of all time is because McGregor found a way to save significant time in his power reload period. But how? Footwork and angles. Look closely. Conor McGregor only rotates his hips twice for 2 successive power shots. Instead of unloading the hips 1, reloading 2, and unloading again 3, he found a more efficient way. Look at this. He rotates his hips/shoulders for the first left hand, then, instead of reloading them, he moves his feet and aligns his stance with the perfect angle. And right there, he's ready to fire again with full rotation of variable, only because of the angle he created. In other words, McGregor didn't need to readjust his entire body to fire again, because the reload had already happened with his first power strike. He just needed to adjust his feet and find the accurate alignment to hit again. This is fascinating. Look at his shoulders, only 2 rotations. Look at the hips, only 2 rotations. There's no reload. He uses his momentum, and that carries him into his next power strike. It's one thing to execute this in the training room, but to improvise precisely in the danger zone with no time to think is something else. It was like lightning struck over the Underground King's shoulder. We've only analyzed the second of one of the greatest performances of all time. In the next video, we'll take a deep look at the greatest combo in UFC history, which lasted about a second also. I hope you enjoyed the last few minutes. I just wanted to remind fight fans what the Notorious can do. And let's not forget, he has only lost to the very best.
Why are we talking about this? This is really negative.
Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe.